Hello, and welcome to a late night solo dev update. I'm QX, and I will guide you through the ASMR developer update on the Ergo platform. We'll tone it down more once we get to the actual updates. And excuse my voice, still recovering after a full month of being sick from before, so working on that. Okay, so you'll notice what I have up on screen here first is before the dev update started, Kushki and Unreal and on 2020s, MG Pi, Louis Vatra are discussing the SigUSD bank update. So currently in the stages, and Unreal, I believe, is testing against testnet some UI updates for it. But I wanted to jump in here because I see in chat sometimes people are trying to convert to SigUSD, a SigRSV, convert back, when they're confused about why the price is different, perhaps on MuFinance or MuDex or ErgoDex compared to the SigUSD bank or even TokenJ, which some people don't even know about and how that works. So there's an amazing video that I spoke with Cafe, and he explains it. I'll put that in the chat below if I remember, if it's not too late. If not, just Google it. It's on the Ergo platform channel or the SigmaUSD channel. I believe it's a Dev update, so it should be the Ergonauts, the Ergo YouTube channel. But let's kick off here, right here. So we have two different kinds. The first kind that we can do it, the first way we can do it is we can go to SigmaUSD.io. Now, the difference between SigmaUSD.io, the difference between TokenJ, and the difference between doing an exchange is very simple, all right? If you're trying to convert ergs to SigUSD or SigUSD or SigRSV to ergs, back the other way, you can at any time go to something like MuFinance, choose ergs, choose SigUSD, and we can convert at any time. We'll have some slippage, of course. We'll have a price impact because this is an actual pool that people have created and created liquidity for it. So we're limited by the depth of the liquidity. We're limited by the trades that are going on in it right then as well. So you'll notice that the DEX price of SigUSD/erg, that conversion rate, will sometimes lag behind and be different than the actual price of what erg is. So there's arbitrage opportunities between here if you have SigUSD or you have erg, because you can slide into one and slide in the other. If the DEX gets too far up ahead of what the bank is, you can bring it back down. If it gets too far below, you can buy it back up. Exactly like that. Super, super easy beginner method of arbitrage you can start with the SigUSD bank versus the DEX to level those out. Okay, that being said, that's the DEX side of things. We also have, back to these two dashboards, we have a difference between these two actual processes as well. TokenJ, I'm not sure which one was around first. Actually, I think it was SigmaUSD right here, the SigmaUSD IO, perhaps. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. This uses proxy contracts. That means your funds are sent into a proxy contract first, and then it is pushed against the bank itself, the bank contract, and you are given your tokens. If something happens, there is a refund button that you can do. So let's say we go to a stablecoin, we choose to go from erg to SigUSD or SigUSD to erg, or we want to do the reserve coin, erg to SigRSV, SigRSV to erg. We purchase, we redeem, goes into the proxy. If the price of erg hasn't changed, your funds will be in that proxy, and then you can refund them if it hasn't gone through. Otherwise, you'll get your conversion. TokenJ, on the other hand, does it a little differently. They directly go right to the bank. So there's no delay, there's no extra slippage or anything like that. If your bid matches it, then it's going to execute. If it doesn't, then it doesn't, and you get it back automatically, essentially. So that's kind of the difference between these two products right here. They both interact directly with the contract, the SigUSD contract. Okay. Now you may say we can see reserve ratio at 374%. What does that mean? If we go over to here from the Ergo platform website, we can see a cute little infographic about when you can purchase or redeem. So if it's below 400%, we can only redeem SigUSD, or we can only purchase SigRSV. If it's above 800%, we can only redeem SigRSV. We can purchase and redeem both SigUSD. So that is like the logic built in to the process and the protocol that keeps that thing pegged where it's supposed to be. If you want to get deeper on this part and go into more arbitrage opportunities and potentially gain opportunities with minting and unminting SigRSV, SigUSD, please watch that video I spoke about earlier. Cafe does a fantastic job of explaining it. It's tricky. It's tricky. I don't touch this anymore, but there's a lot of people who do. And there's a lot of misconceptions about RSV being a long or that kind of thing, but watch that video. That'll hopefully explain a lot. So if we test this, right, reserve ratio below 400, we should not be able to purchase SigUSD at anywhere, right? So let's see if I want one. Let's see. Yep. See, unable. If you can read this, you can barely read this. Unable to mint more than 0 SigmaUSD based on the current reserve status. So it won't let us. If you want to redeem, sure enough, it lets us redeem, and that matches exactly what this chart says. So both of these are codified to match the contract, and the contract won't. So if somebody tries to bypass these UIs and interact with the bank directly, won't do it. Won't do it at all. It's all based on the smart contract code. All right. I'll put that video below, but watch it. I know this is asked a lot in chat sometimes when people are struggling with what this is. Sometimes people click on version 1 of SigmaUSD, which you don't want to use. You want to use the main link from the SigmaUSD page or Token J, of course. And I know a lot of you people already know this already, but I think it's good to have out there once again because it is a question asked very often. All right. We've got a very, very short dev update this week. We're going to try to keep this under 15 minutes. I think we can do it. All right, here we go. Let's see if I have any voice left. We have Anon BR with from the Nautilus team. They have released version 0.2.0 of ergo-ledger JS, added device close app, device open app, and device get current app info, OS level methods, improved APDU logging. Nautilus refactored ledger device component, moving all generic and state management logic into it. Refactored transaction sign component, refactored confirm address dialog component, added several minor UI fixes and code quality improvements. This is good. I haven't been paying attention to this in chats or what they were saying, but I imagine this comes from the latest ask to fix some things, perhaps, the review they were doing. So that's great. Awesome. It'll be nice to have both Ledger and Keystone options again, so people have choice. That's always best. All right, we have C8 with ergfi, DXY Gold integration, ETA a few weeks. Now, C8's usually pretty good with the deadlines, so yeah, I believe that. He's done 5 to 5 lib level actions, LP swap, erg DXY Gold, bank free mint, bank arb mint, LP mint liquidity tokens, LP redeem liquidity tokens, in progress UI integration, ergo pay, other things required for release, mempool server integration. Very nice. We have Kushti with subblocks, which people love to pass around as the next big thing, which I think it is. It's going to be amazing. We spoke briefly about changing or at least coming up with some sort of alternative to an ergo hack, like a spring or summer of code, where essentially you target a theme and you get people on board, you give them much more time. So for example, HQ mentioned, why don't we do a spring of code or a summer of code that is focused on prepping dApps for subblocks. So by the time subblocks come out, if you've done this spring of code and you've rewarded people that are participating in that and learning Ergo script and learning how to code, and also people that come in knowing how to do front ends and work with code anyway, a lot of these dApps that we have in here will already be set for subblocks when it comes online. So that's the idea of that kind of spring of code versus an Ergo hack where you give a theme and people do it and you reward based on that. I feel in kind of these code sessions where it's extended, you target college groups, you target other ecosystem developers as well as our own. Everybody comes together for kind of a goal and they're rewarded based on the stages. Might get a little more progress with these kind of things. Okay, great. So subblocks. Working on DAG representation of input and ordering blocks in RAM. After completing first API methods, best input block, best input chain, with just one local minor chain representation is okay for initial testing, etc. But for P2P network, DAG storage is needed. 6.0, 6.0.0 RC2 released with support for public testnet or voting and activation. Voting should be started soon in the testnet. Next 120 blocks epoch. So yeah, so he gave me a couple days after that released, I popped it on the testnet. I'm running the testnet and changed the code and immediately popped up that said 120 blocks for epic. So should be soon. Super cool. It's running, I believe, as I said earlier, Anon Real was testing some UI things for what was it? SigUSD. So that's great that that's working. Waiting for 6.0 fix PR's review. Paideia. Oh, nice. Paideia. This is Louis Vatra. Worked with Canon Q to debug some issues in the create DAO process. I tell you guys, if you haven't used Paideia, I mean, even if you just have groups online of people that you work with for fun, like D&D groups or record groups or music groups or anything like that, where there are decisions that need to be made that are based around user consensus, and you could potentially have funds hooked to that too. It's the way to go. It's worked amazingly well. We used the hell out of it during the beta. For SIGs, the mining pool just jumped over there as well from the beta to the final version that we're on as well for the Sigmanauts. It's amazing tool. Hats off to Louis Vatra, Marty, and the team that worked on that. Fantastic. We've got Kushti with SigUSD pool. Prepared data for mainnet pool update to refresh update box and open possibility to update the pool to V2 and next voting. Chain cache, updating the paper. We've got Vorujak with Minotaur. Select addresses from the address book. Allow to archive some wallets. These wallets are not displayed in wallet select page by default. Favorite wallets are displayed in start of wallets list. Great. Toggle display archive wallet. You guys, if you guys are interested in running desktop versions of wallet, Ergo has too many good choices. It's absolutely fantastic. You have Minotaur, you have Satergo, but give them a try. I have many computers that I use, and I have Satergo on one, I have Minotaur on another, I have Minotaur mobile on my, where is it? I love showing this thing off. I show it off every other AMA. On my cold wallet, which is just one of these little palms. When I bought it, it was like 100 and I think I got it for $70. Now it's a lot more where it was last time I checked. A little tiny guy running Android. It's my cold wallet. It's got Minotaur on it. I push things to it via ADB cable as a text file to sign things on the cold wallet and push them back. Super cool. We've got an update from Rosen Bridge. This is very exciting. Rosen Bridge Rosen app enhance the logical structure of networks within their specific packages to improve efficiency and increase maintainability. Implementing public event status or services. Rosen Bridge Watcher version 2. Write observation related queries and write unit test. Write a job function in txpot and callback of it. Rosen Bridge Scanner added callback support to extractors. Added abstract database entity and action to ease the new extractors development. Rosen Bridge Utils added callback logger package to be used in log level health parameter. If any of you are using being a watcher on the Rosen Bridge, I had to do some sort of database wipe on mine. I had to kill the containers and redo it. There's an issue with one of the packages when you restart it. They're working on fixing the instructions to include a official repository to one of those packages because it's a third-party package. I found one built into Docker that works. I've been using it for 3 or 4 days now. It works fine. But there'll be an official announcement that soon if they haven't already, based on this. So if you do find yourself in trouble spinning up a watcher from scratch right now or rebuilding your containers, then you're going to run into that unless you do that fix. Feel free to ping me or somebody in the chats. Oh, Okushi is calling me out. I didn't even answer that. Goodness, why we only have 176 blocks a day in the testnet with min difficulty? Any idea? Probably because I'm only mining it at like 2 mega hash. Maybe I'll hit it with a better card that's more consistent, or something like that. Whoopsie. We'll answer him later. Sorry, Kushti. Rosen Bridge continued. Rosen Bitcoin Runes R&D. The research on integration Bitcoin runes with the Rosen Bridge is now complete. Over the past few weeks, we explored various APIs and libraries to assess the feasibility of this integration and how to align the implementation with our overall design, detailed in a dedicated Medium post. Despite encountering some concerns regarding rate limits associated with certain APIs, we have decided to proceed with the implementation phase. As we develop the integration, we will gather more accurate estimations, allowing us to make informed decisions for potential improvements along the way. Currently, we are finalizing the documentation and proof of concepts, and we are looking forward to starting the development phase in the near future. This is awesome. Anytime you can, not just in Bitcoin, but anytime you can bring a store value over to another chain like Ergo and get some functionality out of it, that's or Cardano or to Ethereum or to where's the next one, Binance, and get some more utility or usage out of it. It's a no-brainer. I think once people cross the bridge once and they're like, oh, this is how it works, I can see it all along the process. I don't see a spot where it ever gets lost or anything like that. I can see exactly what's happening, if it's processing, if it's in payment. I think they get a little more comfortable with it. So we just got to get people over that initial hump. Okay, Cushy's talking about merging and releasing some things. Anything else? They're updating an Ergo node interface for us there. Oh, Fanta created a new front end for indexed nodes. Oh, this stuff is exciting. Okay, so right now, we have the Ergo Explorer, the main one. That's this one. That's not what I'm looking for. Here we go. This is what I'm looking for. The main Ergo Explorer right here. This is not fun to set up. Let me go back to the Discord. It's not fun to set up at all. I created a package for myself and that's zipped up. Essentially, you just put it on another server, update some DNS and NGI and exit things, and you're good to go. But it's not for the everyday person, right? It's got some clunky overhead, and it just keeps eating and eating and eating space on your computer. Well, I mean, so does a node, but not as much. So you have things like Erg Explorer, which is an alternative. You have Sigma Space as well, which is an alternative. All fantastic, great. But to be able to create a front end for an index node, we all know how easy nodes are to install, right? With Satirgo, it's like one click. With even with a Java file, if you're not familiar, you can barge your way through it, make it a config file, and running the jar. That's fantastic. But imagine just running a UI just by a Docker container, probably, and all of a sudden you have a front end that you can kind of understand and learn, and it's yourself. It's hosted by yourself. It's easy to set up. These kind of things are like, this is what makes a difference, right? For usability for these kind of things. So absolutely fantastic. Let's see. Anything else? I think that's it, folks. There's some tech support chat in here. Oh, Mark's looking for, this is a day or two later, but he's looking for some Ergo developers for building SharkNet. That's on the Sigmanauts mining DAO. If you're mining, if you have 1 GP, you want to point it, please support it. Hop in there. I think that's about it. Yeah, we're several days ahead. They definitely missed. Perfect. All right, everybody. I hope you had a good week. If you were in the United States of America, you had your big Super Bowl game a few hours ago. I hope the team that you enjoy won, or you're not too sad that the other one lost. I watch some commercials. It's okay. The game's somewhat all right. I didn't even know the Super Bowl was happening until a couple days ago. That's how out of it I've been. So we'll see you on Thursday for video AMA. I've been thinking about putting together a pool so that we could vote and bet on who's going to show up to host the AMA. So we'll give like 5 or 6 people, and what's it called? And you can send like a specific tokens to the wallet that's worth some sort of value, and whoever is right, that wallet, the percentage of people that you gave, you take all the other wallets and you combine them, and your percentage gets a pull out of everything. So essentially, if you win, you get from all the other wallets that people voted on a percentage that you donated to the winning wallet. So I think that'd be kind of fun, something like that. Those are easy to do with wallet voting and a transaction builder. Almost forgot, during the town hall last week, I spoke about the Cornell Brick token. That's doing great. We've distributed maybe 30 or so interested wallets so far. There's about 350, 400 architecture kids to go. There's 800 students in total. So slow burn, but that's fine. Once it spreads, that you can get free printing from these initial tokens, I think it's going to start slowly catching more fire. But we had several students use the system already to actually redeem free plots. So that was super exciting to see. Okay, everybody, thanks for bearing with my chunky voice this week. Hopefully, after my meds, next week will be a little clearer. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Have a great night.